Loan officers, right now, there are so many different offerings with mortgage companies. It's kind of like the old days where there was a difference between company A and company B. There's some really interesting things, exciting things that are being made available for loan officers with some of these companies. If you'd like to learn more about that and some of the options and have a discreet conversation, feel free to click this banner right over there. We'll give you a buzz and chat you up and let you know some of the interesting and exciting things taking place in the mortgage world right now. On with the show. So, and this is huge, guys. This is bigger than people are giving it credit for right now, so I want you to hear me out. HUD and the GSEs, the government-sponsored enterprises, along with the FHFA, just released, it's called a Memorandum of Understanding. And the reason for it is to synchronize their fair lending policies, investigations, and enforcement actions against the likes of you. Now, this is really uncommon for this to happen. Historically, HUD and the GSEs have had their own investigations and enforcement actions, but they did so autonomously, with HUD having a more pronounced regulatory structure than the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie. Now that doesn't matter because of this Memorandum of Understanding, or the MOU. And it states that when either the GSEs or HUD opens an investigation, they're going to share that information with each other. Further, HUD and the GSEs are going to share any information that the other might not have when it comes to fair housing violations amongst lenders. Make no bones about this, people. This Memorandum of Understanding should serve notice to every lender in the country that this administration fully intends to find and punish fair housing violations. Now, here's what lenders need to know, and I cannot stress this enough. It is not okay to only have policies in place that are intended to ensure discriminatory practices do not take place. That is no longer the bar.
That's no good.
Policies now must also ensure that the effect does not create an adverse fair housing outcome. This is the result of a policy called affirmatively furthering fair housing. Not just fair housing, no. This is affirmatively furthering fair housing. It's like fair housing on steroids. This policy was passed during the Obama administration, then it was scrapped under Trump's administration, and it's now being revised under Biden's administration. It states HUD and its recipients of federal financial assistance to do more than simply not discriminate. They must take meaningful actions to overcome patterns of segregation and foster inclusive communities. Get it? Now we've learned that the GSEs, via the FHFA, now have their Memorandum of Understanding, which means the policy of affirmatively furthering fair housing is now not just a policy for HUD, but it's also the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie. Okay, so the three objectives that have been outlined in the AFFH that lenders must get on board with right now are: number one, determine who lacks access to opportunity and address any inequity amongst protected class groups. Number two, promote integration and reduce segregation. And number three, transform racially or ethnically concentrated areas of poverty and turn them into areas of opportunity. All right, now I get it. We need to do better as an industry to fight discrimination and discriminatory practices. I'm just asking, guys. I'm just asking. Is it the role of a mortgage lender to transform racially or ethnically concentrated areas of poverty and turn them into areas of opportunity? Here's my thing. What does that even look like? How does that take place? And just hear me out for a second here, guys. Big depositories like Bank of America, Wells, Chase, and Citi, they have community redevelopment funds and mandates to go into underserved communities and do the bidding of any given administration and the policies that they have. That's been taking place for decades. Now, I'm wondering how many of our non-depository mortgage lenders, how are they supposed to address turning areas of poverty into areas of opportunity? Here's the thing. Non-bank mortgage lenders write the vast majority of loans in this country, yet they have virtually no footprint when it comes to issues outlined in affirmatively furthering fair housing. So it seems to me some form of further guidance is going to be necessary for lenders to stay out of harm's way. For example, we know from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that African Americans and Hispanics have lower credit scores than white people do on average. Again, this is not me, it's coming from the federal government. Now, Fannie and Freddie have what are known as loan level price adjustments. Being federally owned almost entirely and being in conservatorship, you could say that Fannie and Freddie are now also federal agencies or part of the federal government. So the feds, through Fannie and Freddie, through the loan level price adjustments, charge a fee for lower credit scores. That means that the federal government, not any lender, but the federal government is charging African Americans and Hispanics more on loans on average than they are charging white people. This is a federal policy. That's a fact. So the question is this: is a lender now going to find themselves in harm's way if their ECOA information shows higher rates for African Americans and Hispanics on their Fannie and Freddie loans? The answer is we don't know, but it's starting to sound like that's going to happen. In short, this memo of understanding, along with the affirmatively furthering fair housing, is a good thing to keep our industry going in the right direction when it comes to dealing with issues of discrimination. I just hope that any punishment that's going to be doled out, which is surely coming, comes from a place where actual infractions take place rather than simply making an example of a mortgage company for political purposes. Now, this we know, it's coming, so I guess, my friends, we'll find out. Hey, listen, share this show on your social sites, share it on your email if people still use that type of stuff. Have some comments down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Am I off base? Did you actually hear the words coming out of my mouth? Or are you going to, make some judgments? Let me know. I don't care either way. Have a good day. Bye.